Yo, what is up? It's DeCosmic here.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Welcome back, everybody. It is DeCosmic, and I am going over a weekly watch list for you guys today. And I just want to preface this video by saying that I am not a financial advisor, and that if you want to trade at your own risk, and this is just purely me doing technical and financial analysis on these stocks. So without that, let's get right into it. And psych, not getting right into it, hit a like, hit that subscribe button, really helps out the channel. I love you guys, thank you so much for all the support, and now we're going to dive in. So my first stock that I'll be looking at is NVAX, Novavax. They have been on a tear recently with a $58 million share float and a market cap of 4.79 billion. This stock has just been rocketing, and it just won't stop. And it's mainly because it's a big three candidate for the coronavirus vaccine. So as it consolidates up here at this top range, I see it perking up for another breakout, just kind of like this area it kind of did right here, but in a shorter term. So I do believe that if it can break for 145, then it can just keep going to the sky. So Novavax is a big coronavirus play watcher, and so is Mrna, the next stock. Mrna is another one that I've been playing recently and actually made a good amount of money on Friday off an option call. But they're joining the big index, the Index 100. On Monday, they're going to be officially announced, Index 100, Monday morning. And from my history research, typically after it gets announced and then they join, there's a big spike, but then it comes back down and finds its true actual level. But with this one, they are also another big coronavirus candidate, so I can see it continuously running. As you can see, it is way closer to a breakout point. It's forming a nice cup and handle right here, and we can see what will happen. Honestly, I'm looking for a push above 195, and at 196 that's going to be just the blue skies territory. So essentially what you, after it hits breaks $95, $95.57, look for your resistances at the whole numbers, like at this dollars and the 50 cents and all that fun stuff. So next, GNE. So this was a company, they announced an offering, and then it's been halted for a good while now. Let's see here. I believe it was halted for like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, a solid 1 day. On the 16th, it decided to get halted, and that was after the offering. And then you can see here, genetic technology shares are trading lower after the company priced a 1.025 million ADS offering at $5 per ADS. And as you can see, it didn't quite hit $5, but I am expecting a bounce. There's a whole lot of talk and Twitter news going on, so that's something that I'll be also watching. Next, AZN, AstraZeneca. All right, let's see here. Let it populate here for a quick brief second. I apologize about that. I can actually go down here and close all my tabs that I have open. So AZN is another coronavirus play, vaccine running, and it's also showing no signs of stopping. As you can see here, they're trading higher as investors eye coronavirus vaccine developments. Phase 1 clinical trial data on the company's coronavirus vaccine is expected to be published on Monday, tomorrow. Monday tomorrow. Good news, I can see this just taking off, just like mRNA and Novavax. Good news, I'll probably be putting a target around $75, $80. Bad news, then I can see it at least dropping to try and retest this support or slash resistance at 59. So we will see, honestly, and if it's bad news, it could tank. But we will see. I am expecting it to be, I'm not expecting any good or bad news. I'm just going to play the price action afterwards. And then right after that, they have Q2 earnings. So we will see how this works. If it does break out past the 640 range off that news on Monday, then I could definitely see another run like it's done today. COHN. Let's see here. COHN. If I'm just looking at this, and I am looking at this objectively as a third party, man, this is a spiker and a dumper. It does that a whole lot. Like, look at this day, from $4.26 to 19, back down to 7, and then the next day to 24, and then back down. So it's not really holding a lot of its spikes. So if I go back to the 1 month chart, you see it's doing the same pattern, spiking and then dumping, spiking and then dumping. And right now it's sitting on a former resistance slash support line here at 1071. So price action will dictate a play. If price action says it's going to keep going, which the pattern doesn't tell me it will, I can expect this to come back down, try to see $9 again. Just because it's a spiker and then a dropper. Next, SPCE. Oh, I love this stock. This is my favorite stock to play options on, just because their pattern is very, very predictable. And I can tell you that by just showing you, let's go 3 months back. They always have these crazy 2 to 3 day runs before cracking. Like, always has a solid 2 to 3 days before cracking. And this is its second day on its run. So if we look back on what it did last week, exact same pattern. On Friday, actually this was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday it started to take off. Friday it kind of helped. It was a little bit choppy. And then on Monday, it just dropped back down to its previous support resistance levels right here at 1777 from back here. And then it's doing that again. On Thursday, it started to take off. Friday, it continued. And Monday, we can possibly see a small continuance if it does push past. If it breaks $25, I can see this continuing, but I'm going to be looking at the same price action pattern for it to come back down to retest of former support, which will be about $21 is what I'm looking at. $21 or 22. So 22 will be my first one, and then 21 after. Next, ABT. ABT, it's another high dollar stock, sitting at 99.26, and their float is, that's a massive float. That's a massive float. And honestly, the range that it's in is not that bad either. It is on the precipice of a breakout, so if it can push 100, I do think that it could continue. Especially, yeah, it's just a massive cup and handle forming out. So this could be a multi-month breakout level that we're looking at here. And if we go, let me go to my 5-year chart. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, steady grind up. yeah, I'm looking at this to be a bullish sentiment. See if it breaks $100, then it has blue skies. Yeah, that's essentially all that I have on ABT. I mean, it's another laboratory play because and they also ran because their Q2 results like just were amazing. So I mean, the Q2 results are helping it run. It is another one of those biosectors. We'll see if it can break 100, and then that will be my ideal entry. INO, Inovio Pharmaceuticals. This is another one of the big three. So big three, keep this in mind: Novavax, Mrna, Inovio, NVAX, mRNA, NIO. These are the big three stocks people are looking at for a possible coronavirus vaccine. And so looking at Inovio, looking at its chart, let's go back here to the 1 month chart. Inovio looks like it's trying. It throughout the week it did spike up on Friday, but it didn't hold on I'm sorry. It did spike up on Monday, but it didn't really hold through its gains, any of its gains. It came back up to try to retest that resistance on Friday, and it's just kind of consolidated. So this looks like another cup and handle, a sloppy one. I will see what happens on Monday. I honestly want to see news to push this, but we'll see what happens on Monday on Inovio. But nonetheless, it's something that I am keeping an eye out, because it did show proof that once it broke this level way back here, it shot up. So we'll keep an eye on that. APDN is the next ticker we're going to be looking at. Float, it's a low float, 4.25 million. It massive spike off of news on Friday, and we'll see that. Applied DNA and Takis report positive preclinical results from Lindinia vaccine candidates for COVID-19. So it's another coronavirus play. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on it as it goes. It didn't hold any of that gain whatsoever, which makes me feel a little more skeptical to it. But now that it's coming down and hitting this hard resistance slash support, see if it can reliably make it support, which it looks like it did on this down wick candle here. So let's see if it can hold this up as support, and if it does, I can expect it to continue running. This looks like the bottom side of a cup and handle. Facebook. I am looking at Facebook for one main reason, and one main reason only, is because Disney decided to slash its advertising funding to Facebook. So we'll go back down here. Yep, Disney cuts ad spending on Facebook amid growing boycott. So that's not good for them. And the last time that this happened was this crack right here, from 250 all the way down to 230. So I'm looking for another $10 drop on the downside. I want to see 230, 231. First, it needs to really break. I mean, it doesn't even need to really break 234. 236 would be its first level it'd have to break on its downside, and then coming down here to 230. I would say, man, 239 is also a good level to look at, especially after this nice double bottom that it put here. So, but I don't really look at that as a key level, because it just destroyed. Well, I mean, it would be a key level. So keep keep Facebook in mind. Their earnings are coming up, but they're also getting advertiser slashing, and that I think may hurt them in the long run. NVIS. I did a interview with Warrior Bill on the other day. It's running. I knew this was a long-term play. I was in it in May, but I just did not feel patient on holding it, and it spiked, bounced back off of its former support level, and it's on its way back up. I see this continuously going. It does have a little bit of a higher of a float, and they have been known to drop an offering, but at the same time, their tech and the position that they have for people to buy it is what's causing a lot of people excitement. So two things that I see is, one, earnings are 9 days from now, and the HoloLens 2 came out during Q2, so we shall see. We shall see what happens. Their technology is impressive, and they're not yes, they're a penny stock company, but they've been around for years and years and years and years and years. And just the technology that they have is extremely cool technology, and it is innovative, especially for Microsoft or Sony or any big tech company. So this is going to be a stock that I'm actually in on it on stocks, but I'm probably going to get a option call for it for about $3. We'll see whenever Monday comes around to look at those prices. Next, GNUS. Oh man, I hate this stock. Let me just tell that one more time. Hold on, let me sip my tea. I hate this stock. And the main reason is because of this. From 230 to 450 or 440, right back down. This is not healthy for any stock, and it is showing nothing but death. We go back to the year to date. It's just the same pattern. Massive jump and then death. This one too, massive jump and then death. And honestly, if y'all follow Tim Sykes at all, I mean, we'll see it. Look, this is pattern number one, the pre-pump, or the pre-run up, and then we get into the 2, where it's consolidation, and then we have our 3, our breakout, our supernova. Our 4 is our cliff dive, and then it bounced So we had our cliff dive, and then we had our post-pump bounce, and now we're just looking at a little more dead pump bounces, and it's just death. A lot of people are excited because they're getting trademarks and all that fun stuff. Honestly, I really could care less. This company is not really pulling in any money. For investor terms, I think it's highly dangerous until the announcements / rumors of them being bought out by a high costing production agency, or like Disney or Netflix or anything like that, would cause this stock to continue running. It would cause this stock to really fly, especially since they have trademarks for Stan Lee, and they're working on, I think, Bugs Bunny or some other things like that. But they're positioning themselves to be bought out to get a lot of money, but right now they're on a free service with free subscriptions. They're not generating revenue, so it's bad for the stock, just period. So, I mean, if you're a long-term holder, then continue doing you. If you're holding down here from 34 cents, I mean, you're still up 800%. So, I mean, you do you. I'm going to do me and stay the fuck away from this, because I got in on it way too high, thinking it was going to come back down or bounce back, and it never did. It never got close to my entry, and I was not going to put more liquidity to average down just for the hopes of another one of these pops. So with that being said, expect Q1 earnings to be horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. I see this stock down back at $1 after earnings are announced. That's just me though. And I'm sorry if you don't like my opinion on GNUS, but I can't be a cheerleader for everyone. This is a great opportunity for a short or put. Next, JE, Just Energy Group. Ew. Okay. Yeah, that was a dramatic phrase, but okay, well, let's look at the 1 month. Let me see if I can identify any key supports or resistances now. All right, there we go. So from 6 months, in December it was trading up here at 2, and it's just been falling down. The current price is telling me it's at 36 cents. So if it did spike on Friday, then it cracked, but I think that's just an error. So yeah, I think that's just an error on Benzinga's part right here. I think that's actually just showing me after hours. Let's see if it can. It looked like it tried. It bounced off 123 and retested its highs in the pre-market. Honestly, this is a stock that I typically look at for an overnight hold for a weekend swing. Interim order for recapitalization and board renewal. So, I mean, it's running off news. It's not bad. I would assume the float is really low. Let's see if I can find its shares outstanding. Inside ownership. Nah, it's not a low float at all. It's up, but this is a stock that this is a thing that I don't like to see. $26 million on hand, $500 million in debt. That's not a small amount of money. And their market cap, they're over their market cap in debt. So this stock, I would play it just for the day trade for tomorrow. I could, if it doesn't gap down in the morning, I would see another run from it. But if we look, yeah, like it did a nice cup and handle. I think this is the extent. I mean, this stock is already up. What is that? 400%. I think playing this would be chasing at this point. But again, I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm just telling you my opinion. Next, OGEN, Organics. I'm sorry, we're almost there. We're almost there. The rest of these will be very, very quick. OGEN, Organics. Man, that is some choppy price action. Mid to low float. I'm not seeing any real news on it. It does look like it's locked right here in this channel, so we could see it swing either way. It's sitting at this support level, right? No, it's not. It bounced off that support level. It can swing either way. I just want to see a little bit more. Let's look back. Yeah, it's channel locked. So it has two choices: to either fill the gap on the downside or to continue going. And it looks like it's close. It's right smack dab in the middle of me saying anything. So this is a very indecisive stock. So keep an eye on it. It can go either way. And if it goes below 104, 105, I would short. Honestly, 110. If it goes below 110, I would 105 is the best idea. 105, and I would short, setting my risk at 108. And going long, I wouldn't go long until it breaks 123, because then I'm looking for that 130 130 climb. That's a solid 10% grind. Next, Mark is going to be dead. It's going to be silent for a little bit. They already tweeted about that. So I'm still in my positions. I'm just saying, just keep an eye on Mark because it has the opportunity to explode off news. And whenever I say explode, it jumps like 40 to 60% in a matter of 20 to 30 minutes just off a dumb little tweet. So just keep an eye on Mark, even though it's on its slow death decline. It's doing the same pattern that not the exact same pattern, but kind of like what GNUS did. Next, XSPA. XSPA is another one of those stocks that is just on the slow decline. Even though I do have my shares in it, I believe my shares are at 306. Actually, oh snap! I might be break even here soon. I think they're at like 335, but I also have options for 225 or 250 for August 21st. They did drop an offering on Friday, and that's why it's kind of tanking. But look, it literally bounced right back. And no, and it wasn't even an offering like you think it was. And that's how come you actually see a spike. And a lot of people got confused on this. I was reading on Twitter, people were dumping their shares, but it was going up, and they're like, why is it going up? No, they're offering their employee stock. They're giving stocks to their employees, which is very interesting. Something that I like to see, and other investors like to see, obviously, because this stock just rose off of that news. I do want to backtrack for 1 second, go back to Mark. My girlfriend did actually go to Mexico. She flew out of DFW to Mexico, and she was saying that the airport security there was so much stricter than it was in the US. Like, you had to have your mask. They did have handheld thermal screeners that she wouldn't let us look at, or they wouldn't let us take pictures of. She got a couple of pictures, but to me it doesn't really look like Mark. But other than that, just do want to put that on your radar that Mexico is hardcore wanting to make sure everybody is safe in their airports and are using thermal screening and mask and all that fun stuff. So next, UAVS, another stock that I made some money on this week, and it's just running. This is a long-term play. This is an invest play. I would invest in UAVS. They are growing. They are expanding. They are just booming. And there's all this rumors about them being bought out by Amazon, which in my opinion makes sense because UAVS is a drone company. Amazon wants to deliver using drones. Makes sense to me, especially since they already have a solid business, but $32 million float is what's caused sending it full send, and right now it looks like it's at the bottom of its range. So I am probably going to try and lock in some shares on Monday. Fedex is another play that I'll be looking at for options. They look like they're reaching another breakout level. And it's been FedEx and UPS just going at it back and forth. So they're having some news, but not really a whole lot of news. It's just mainly that their earnings were so fantastic that they just kept going. And just them being a key part of the supply chain is what's keeping this stock really alive. And so I'm going to say the same thing with UPS, and their earnings are coming up on the 30th, I believe. So that's something that I'm going to be looking at for UPS. So we'll skip that whenever it comes up to. Oh no, I still want to show you the chart. DraftKings. All right, I love DraftKings. DraftKings has made me some good money as well. Sports are coming back, and as you can see here, it's on its uptrend from its steady decline. Look at 3-month chart, like it's wanting to come back, and it's sitting right here at the 35.44 level. I would not be surprised if by the end of this week it is at $40. Just with the increasing of sports coming back, and all that fun stuff. And I don't know why this is in DraftKings. DraftKings was tagged in this news, but this is an IPO and Fisker. I'm going to be looking at that, honestly. And then you can also look on here what Kramer's, and it has been red hot, is not going to bet against it. Okay, look, like you have some Benzinga pros saying that they're not going to bet against DraftKings. So that's something that I'm looking at, is DraftKings looks like a very, very good stock to keep going. Tesla. I was going to be extremely bearish on Tesla until today, honestly. Look, it's formed a beautiful bull flag, and then they have conference call coming up in 2 days. Their earnings is going to be in 2 days, and then this right here, electric fuel cell vehicle manufacturer Nikola's. Oh, nope, not Nikola. China-made Tesla Model 3 will ditch cobalt and use CATL batteries. This is big, especially if you read through it, and especially what Benzinga's take says. They say this is great news for multiple reasons. Cobalt is a controversial element due to its mining practices and environmental impact. And while the cost savings is under another benefit, supply is Tesla's main gain here. Batteries are probably the company's biggest bottleneck, and have a separate company having a separate company produce and supply batteries allows Tesla to make more cars while absorbing supply from other manufacturers. So I can see it running. I wouldn't hold it into earnings, or holding into earnings is dangerous. Either way, I would play the price action afterwards, especially since they already announced that their Cali sales for Q2 were down by 50%. I could expect their earnings to be horrible. I hope they have good earnings. I hope they have positive earnings, because this right now is the moment of truth. If they don't hit positive earnings this quarter, then they are not going to be able to join the Index 500 at least for another year, or the S&P 500 for another year. But if they hit it, then they have a high chance of joining the S&P 500. If they hit it, then that meets that criteria. Then I think a board of 6 individuals will need to meet to discuss if they are going to let Tesla be part of the S&P 500. And once that's announced, holy crap, I see this stock at $2,500 easy as soon as it gets announced. But that's just me. It's showing a bullish flag. Very hard consolidation right here in this range after last week's massive run. And the week before that, so it's looking undecided, and it can go either way. Next, Workhorse, WKHS. Workhorse is a stock that I've been keeping a close eye on, especially last week. I actually made some good money off Workhorse because of its massive spike. It ran in conjunction with Tesla, and honestly, if you look at it, it looks almost exactly like Tesla's chart. That's Workhorse. That's Tesla. Workhorse. I mean, it's looking almost the exact same. But we'll just like keep an eye out on Workhorse. This is some news that I like to. I want to see some news, honestly, before I play it. Because if no news comes out, it's looking closer to a breakdown versus a breakout. And it does have a gap it needs to fill on the downside. So if it breaks below $14, you can see realistically $10 before a solid bounce, because this is just a whole gap area. I say realistically 10, but since there's no real resistance within this area, put it at $12.50, $12, $11.50, and $11, and then 10. Or $10.50, then 10. Just because like there's just so much gap right here that it needs to fill up. Next, UPS. We're just going to look at it, the chart, show you what I was talking about earlier, because I did talk about a little bit on FedEx. UPS is at that point. It might break out and just take off. So I have already made some money off some UPS calls, and I am going to put some more on, just because I expect this to run into earnings. FedEx destroyed, just got blown out, like blew up after its earnings. And I actually might yellow this into earnings. Who knows? Who knows? FLIR kind of pisses me off. Honestly, because I was wanting this price action for the past 2 weeks, and it just didn't give it to me. And honestly, it got rejected too. And it's showing, I like to call this the booby pattern, but it's showing the booby pattern, and I'm not sure which way it'll go. It's showing very indecisive action right now, and it looks a little bit more bullish than bearish, especially since on Thursday, like, you'd expect it to keep running. It might come down to test $41, but if it breaks down below that, you can expect the same price action. But they're always winning type of contracts, a $21 million contract, which is no small joke. But if you look at the market cap of this company at $5.5 billion, then it doesn't really move the price that much. But then you also have Needham maintained buy on FLIR systems and raised price target to 55. And honestly, I think this is a $50 company. So I would play it long term. Nothing that I would day trade, because it doesn't move that much in a single day, maybe $1 or $2. And I'd have to catch the right days. I'd have to catch this news as it happens, and for me to place that option trade. Because if I was paying attention on Thursday, which was the 15th, it jumped $2.50. The next day it was $3. I mean, not even that. Yeah, straight up jumped to $2.50. Yeah, that's crazy. And I was wanting that price action while I was in it, and I actually ended up cutting my losses for my expiration date of the 17th, right around here. So it's kind of annoying, but oh well. WIMI, the latest, one of the latest supernova pump and dumps. I won't even call WIMI a pump and dump. WIMI is a very, very intriguing company, but it's also a Chinese company, and it's a Chinese company that makes most of their money off advertising, 5G advertising, and entertainment. So WIMI, it's up, it's testing its resistance or its support levels. If it breaks down, I can see it going back down to at least $8. Next, Nikola. I would not be long here. I would not be long Nikola. They made an offering, and now manufacturers, Nikola's stock could have a wild week as holders exercise warrants. So I would be careful. I'd be careful going long on Nikola. So we shall see. I wouldn't be long, especially if it breaks down below this, I would be short. But I just don't have faith in Nikola at this moment. Last ticker, and then I shut up. I promise. I won't talk no more. Sorry if that was racist. Didn't mean it. I can't be racist. I'm almost every single race. Anyways, Netflix. Massive gap down. Another massive gap down. Why? Well, their earnings were crap. Their earnings were horrible, 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 horrible. And I think honestly it was overextended in the first place on its nice little run. I could see it continuously. If it breaks down again, it could go back down, but it might try to bounce here. These two candles right here are showing me some indecisiveness. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Really, I'm not sure. I mean, we have a nice little handle, but it's not looking good. It almost looks like a bear flag to me. So I would bet against Netflix. But other than that, fam, that's it. That is my massive list of 25 tickers that you should want to watch this week. Put into your long-term, put some of these into your long-term portfolio. As you can see, I'm going over more than just penny stocks or macro cap. I'm going over all of them for those option players and for those day traders that trade with penny stocks. And if y'all like this, fam, leave a like, comment, smash the subscribe button. Let me know how you like this video and what y'all like to see in the future. I'm probably going to be doing a list, long form, quote unquote podcast / watch list like this from now on. So if y'all enjoy, I'll keep doing these for you. And thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.